Hello, hi guys. A very happy morning to every one of you. And today we are going to see the new Indian Express and especially the Explore Environment page. Because why I am telling this information is very much useful means because in today's environment the plastic and the microplastic in our blood has been tremendously increased, and a lot of UN official United Nations and United Health Organization also are very much concerned to tackle this microplastic content. And since the India has also taken the regulatory steps to reduce the plastics and microplastic level, but the oil refining companies have started to increase the production of the plastics. So why this kind of plastics is being usage in today's environment, and especially in today's new video we are going to see especially about this microplastic in a very detailed way. So okay, let's get started. So okay, as this information is, as this newspaper tells, the microplastic usage has been increased, and you can see this. The United Nations Treaty had decided to put end to a plastic population. Wait one sec, I'll just zoom the video a little bit. I think so now it's okay. And see, the United Nations Treaty has decided to end the plastic population, but now it means this leading to health experts warning that purpose of agreement. It means lot of agreement has been mishandled, and lot of agreement has not been fully settled for this reduction in the microplastic. Because why it is most important means to regulate the hazardous chemical embedded in the plastics and curb plastic production. So now recently, before 2 months or 1 month I think so, you would have seen about the Kerala issue, the which ship, the especially the ship I couldn't remember. So the ship had a lot of issues, especially near the port area. So that ship has led to the loss of microplastics and microplastic granules, and a lot of videos has been circulated about the plastics has been fully depleted in the shore. It means Kerala shore areas. So that not only affects the entire shore, it also affects the entire ecosystem near the Kerala. Not only in the Kerala, entire ecosystem in the, especially in the sea areas, the Arabian Sea. So what will happen? The microplastic will be engulfed or it will be eaten by the marine organism, and this marine organism we are going to eat, means human will going to eat this. So indirectly the microplastic indirectly and directly enters into the human health body. So this kind of thing is very much concerned, and lot of it means lot of foreign organization and Indian organization also tell lot of initiative to reduce this kind of microplastic. See, the other thing, the health national library of medicine found high certainty evidence that microplastic negatively affects the human reproduction, digestion and respiratory systems. So one thing is, these three things are very much important, because the the human reproduction should be there, because we need to engrow our offsprings, and other thing is digestive tract. So whatever foods we eat, that thing you would have known it's entirely digested in the digestive system. So this gets affected, the entire thing is affected. And the third thing is respiratory system. This is also very much important thing. And not only to the human, it affects lot of to the animals also. It affects. You could have seen lot of the cows eating in the, especially in the waste area, the lot of unwanted organization. It means humans whatever will do, they will collect the waste and they will just go and dump into the land. And the animals, especially the dogs and the cows, the most of the cows, most of the pigs and most of the buffaloes eats that kind of waste things. So indirectly they also engulf the plastics. So what we are doing is, at the evening times, most of the farmers or most of the other kind of person, they just take the milk from the cows. So the microplastic indirectly enters into the cow milk, and we consume that kind of milk. So it indirectly affects the human health condition also. So you could have seen the microplastic, nanoplastics form the breakdown of large plastics, and that detects in the human lungs, bloods and kidney and plania and even the brain tissue. You just see guys, the brain tissue. So okay, it's a, so why this microplastic is very much concerned means, you just think a river is flowing in a good way, and suddenly if there kind of any blockages occur, means what will happen? The river will divert. It means this side will divert, that side will divert. So the diversion will happen. So you just compare to the blood vessels, the blood vessel, blood veins and all of other things. Whenever blood vessel is so much thin guys, it's, see, there's a little bit hair in my hand. So it is so much thinner than this hair, that millimeter. It's the most of the arteries and the veins will be in a nanometer size, and it will be in a millimeter. So we should see in this concern, because if in the veins or ventricles or arteries any kind of problem occurred by case of this microplastic, it leads to the very much regulation of the heart. It means heart level will deplete, and a lot of other problems will also come. So you could also see the plastics, it means whatever the plastic we are using, the plastic bags are composed of how much? Nearly more than 16,000 chemicals, not one or two chemical guys, 16,000 chemicals with over 4,200 known to be hazardous. Nearly in this 4,200 is been hazardous, and such as the they single substance like palatins and bisphenols and per and this kind of lot of other substances also been used. You just see whenever we are burning a wood, it means near your home you will have definitely burn the wood, so that kind of smell will affect you, but it won't affect because it's a nature thing. But whenever you burn the plastic, you can't smell the plastic in a single bit also. It triggers the entire nose, the entire the hair present in your nose, and the entire thing, the entire respiratory thing it will be get entirely affected. That's because of this 4,200 hazardous chemicals that have been used. And this chemicals is directly linked to the cancer. So whenever we smell this kind of chemicals, whatever it will do, it will indirectly give us cancer and infertility, it means neurodevelopmental harms and endocrine distribution. So in the newspaper they have just told one or two problems, but in the reality it leads to a very much alarming issue. So this kind of thing are very much so much concerned. So you can see that it means the UN has also put a lot of treaty to remove this kind of things, and now their treaty must focus on plastics as toxic material, not as just as waste. So we need to consider the entire plastics as toxic material, not as a waste. But what the other thing is, you can see 1 in 4 global deaths are attributed to able to, it means especially by the environmental cause including pollution and toxic chemicals. So if in the world 4 deaths occur, means in that 1 death comes by global issues such as pollution, toxic chemicals and remaining kind of other things, especially where it occurs low and middle class countries. So not in a high countries such as UK and US, there this kind of thing doesn't occur, especially in the India this kind of thing not occurs. And other thing is the fossil in 2016 the plastic production is going to be 3 times tripled. So why? Because see, they have just given it entirely the new thing. See, the community that I served in the South Los Angeles is the home to largest oil field in the United States. So this it means especially this drilling process also leads to a lot of issues, especially the respiratory issue, the reproductive issue, and all of the things. But nowadays the gasoline production and the gasoline usage has been decreased, and you would have known about the EV vehicle, electric vehicle, a lot of other alternatives as taken by the government to reduce this kind of gasoline vehicle. So what now they are doing is, now the crude oil is being converted into the plastic. See, the crude oil, what they will do, they will just take the crude oil, and by using some kind of other things such as heating, another they would have known about the fractional distillation process. So a bigger tube will be, and according to density, lot of other it means the crude oil will settle according to density. So at that one process we will get naphthalene. So this naphthalene, what we will do, they will add this kind of, it means extra elements will have, and we will convert into hydrocarbons. This hydrocarbon is going to convert to ethylene, propylene, and later on we will just make into the plastic. So by the crude oil only most of the plastics we can get. So this plastics, it means instead of going to the cars and instead of going to the lorries for the usage of crude oil in the vehicle industry, as the oil companies, the gasoline production has been decreased, though they are now converting to the plastic. So they are not going to the A, they are going to the B path. So this plastics where it will go entirely to the low and middle class economy. Most of the foreign, it means higher rich people won't use this kind of thing because they are very much dependent on the natural things. So but as the India is available in a cheap market, we will get this kind of plastic and we will just dump into the plastic in all of the things. And you would have also seen lot of examples in the Gurugram and lot of examples in the top metropolitan cities also. This kind of plastics is being circulated especially in the land areas. So that kind of thing we need to overcome. And the other thing is, see, the recycling is also been decreased. And see, the COVID issue, the 4 bags and the syringe and protective equipment has been entirely just dumped in the land and dumped in the oceans. So in the oceans it's been dumped, means definitely it will consumed by the humans. So especially in the middle and low income countries, this kind of medical waste is been open. And still in India, we are so much lacking in the recycling process. But suppose if we compare in the Singapore, means the recycling process entirely it's a far more good thing. But when we compare it with the land area in between the India and Singapore, the land area for Singapore is so much small. But we compare with the India, it's so much big. And when we compare with the population size also, India is far much bigger. So India can't definitely implement so much technology at now point of time. But what India can do is India can add a moment of understanding with the Singapore, and Singapore companies can come here and implement lot of plants, especially the recycling plants. Tamil Nadu also takes lot of initiative in this recycling plant sector, and lot of other foreign companies also comes here to establish this kind of recycling plants. So that's a good thing. So okay guys, suppose in it means you can also have a question that okay, how we can reduce this microplastic in our body. So you need to consume lot of fiber rich food, especially I would have written here, see here the oats, banana and psyllium. The psyllium you can consume because I do consume daily, and the whole wheats and the brown rice and lot of other fiber rich food you have to just it means you have to increase. And why I'm saying this, why we have to consume this fiber rather than any kind of other vitamins or minerals, means this fiber has a capacity, it will directly go and absorb the microplastics. Mostly the microplastics enters into the body in the digestive tract, and you would have known about the small intestine. The small intestine absorbs each and every material, the small intestine absorbs each and every material and gives directly to the bloodstream. Suppose this is a small intestine, here it's for a lot of foods, and here it will be a lot of small endocrine cells. These cells absorbs the foods that been present in small intestine and directly gives to the blood. Surrounding the small intestine full of blood will be, it gives directly. So what this fiber will do is, this fiber will absorb the microplastic that's been present in the small intestine, and it directly goes to the large intestine and it will excrete in that large intestine. So that's a good thing. So you just increase the fiber content. Either you have to eat the psyllium will be a good thing, because just an half spoon of psyllium and nearly 250 to 300 ml of water is far much enough for the psyllium. And there is a product available in psyllium, especially from the Tata, that's also a very good thing. Or instead you couldn't afford the psyllium, means oat, you can consume oats and lot of bananas and whole wheats and millets also, that's a good thing. Because most of the microplastic and other kind of organism enters by the small intestine into our blood. So if we had a good gut health, it means a good bacterial health, good bacteria and bad bacteria that's been present in small intestine. So if you consume this kind of fiber thing, means the gut health will be so much good, and alongside with the good bacteria will also increase. So it's my request to use the fiber thing, guys, I think so, because I did a case study after reading this, so that will be a good thing. So here they are just given what kind of plastics. Nearly 460 million tons of plastic are produced annually. Only 9% are recycled. You just see only 9%. Remaining 91% is not being recycled. That's been entirely dumped into the ocean and into the land. And in 2016, this plastic waste is going to be tripled. And nearly how much it's going to do? Nearly 281 trillion amount of dollars is going to be cost in the future plastic pollution. So we need to take lot of concerns. So one thing at the final, only some points I will explain. Eat fiber rich foods and also reduce the usage of the ocean foods. Suppose also if you are eating the ocean foods, say like fishes and other kind, means definitely go and intake lot of fiber thing. And you also do a case study before eating and each and everything. Suppose if it's an ocean product, means you should have a little bit concern, because lot of microplastic come from the ocean rich organism, ocean rich foods only, especially the seafoods of fishes, another kind of the seafood crabs like that. So it's a little bit concern to tackle each and everything. And whenever there is a plastic near you, go and recycle it properly, or go and give it to the plastic recycling organization, or you just ask the question whether this kind of plastic is being recycled or not. So that's it guys in today's information. Okay, then I hope this information will be useful to you. Okay, then tada, bye bye, see you in the next video.